Hello, everyone. This is Independent Conservative. I'm Ryan Bowling. Thank you all for joining me. So, an 80-year-old woman in Chicago went off on progressive Democratic Mayor Brandon Johnson, saying that he's a disgrace. I mean, she just went in on him. So I got a audio of her saying these things to this man. I'm gonna give you guys my commentary. But yeah, she's a contradiction of what a lot of people think about blacks in Chicago, right? This idea that, hey, you guys are all for Brandon and you're all for this. Well, no, she seems to be saying something totally opposite of the persona that people have of black people in Chicago. It seems clear to me that people are turning their backs on this progressive Democratic politician known as Brandon Johnson. So why is she going off on him, by the way, you probably asking? Well, because of these illegal migrants coming into their city. But let's get right into this. Hopefully you guys can hear this.
All I can say to you is that you are a disgrace. I'm an 80-year-old woman, and I've never seen anything like this. I grew up in the Jim Crow South, and the policies that you're passing in this city remind me of the Jim Crow South. I had to drink out of a colored water fountain.
Jim Crow South,
Or
wow.
the whites would drink out of a white water fountain.
Think
You
about
know
it.
what I didn't have to worry about? Going back to my community and it would be destroyed. And everybody else is in my community but black people. And this is what you've done with this immigration. You have allowed all these people, you brought all these people into this city. You are destroying this city. And the black community is flooded with all of these immigrants. Violent ones, prostitution, gangs. You did that. You are doing this to your people. You are an absolute disgrace to me. Like I said, I drank out of that colored water fountain, but I could go back to that black community that was intact. Women are crying. Taxes are going up. What am I going to do with my children? Where are we going to go and live? This is because of you, Brandon Johnson. You're destroying the south side of Chicago with your policy. All under the Democratic Party. You are a disgrace.
Yeah, man. You heard that. You heard that. You heard that. You heard that. Yeah. What caught my attention was how she said that back in Jim Crow South, how that she had to drink from a black water fountain, but yet she could go back to her neighborhood and it would be intact. What she's basically implying, in my opinion, is that the situation now is worse. At least back then, she's implying, at least back then, I could go back to my house and to my neighborhood and to my community and it would be intact. I wouldn't have to go back and everything be all messed up with a bunch of illegals, crime, and all this other kind of foolishness. That's what she seems to be implying, in my opinion. Now, here's the thing. As sincere as this woman was, as sincere as she was, I don't believe at once Brandon Johnson cares. I don't believe at once he's going to change it. What aggravates the HELL out of me is that these people get up here and cry out to this mayor and cry out to these people and saying what you're doing is destroying the community. There's not a conspiracy theory. It's not made up by some conservatives. These are people that voted for Brandon Johnson. These are more than likely Democrats who are probably going to leave the Democratic plantation because of Brandon Johnson's policies. But what interests me and what grieves my spirit is the fact that all these people get up here and cry in these panels and in these meetings and whatever, and cry out to this man and to his administrative board or whatever, and tell them specifically what is going on. Tell them, look, your policies by allowing all these immigrants, illegal immigrants come in here is causing us hell. And what are they doing? Not a damn thing. They're not doing anything. You want to know why they're not going to do anything? because they're pieces of trash communists. Brandon Johnson is a communist. He's not a Democrat, folks. You voted a communist in office. I guarantee you, Brandon Johnson, and I hope I'm wrong, but I guarantee you Brandon Johnson would get up there like he always did and always have, get up there and give his 2 cents, and it'll always be like, well, this, that, and the other. This is the reason why we're doing this. We need to do this. We need to do that. He's not going to change it. Just like if Kamala Harris gets in office, she's not going to close the border. Why? Because she's a communist. It's all part of the agenda. Destroy the cities bit by bit, piece by piece. You got to do it a little bit at a time. But you do it. You dismantle. Let the people cry out. Let them say what they got to say. But we're going to continue the agenda. Brandon Johnson is a communist. I hate to say this, but they shouldn't have voted this man in office to begin with. They had Laura Lightfoot, Laura Heavyfoot, Laura Clubfoot, whatever you want to call her. Had her in office. She was a buffoon. She gave them hell with her policies. She was a nutbag in terms of her policies. Okay. And then when she was questioned about it, she said something stupid like they always do. But then you get rid of Laura Lightfoot and you vote someone in who is arguably worse than Laura Lightfoot in his policies. Are you serious? It seems to me that this batch of black people, black Democrats in Chicago, are starting to wake up. I can't say that about black people all over America. I can't say that about black people in the city of Cleveland. But in Chicago, I think they're waking up. Because black conservatives and others have been telling y'all ends that this is what Brandon Johnson was going to do. He's in line. He was and is in line with Joe Biden, who stated during his campaign trail that he was going to open the borders and let these people in. I'm going to let you guys in. He said that. A lot of these illegals, from what I heard this from a source, okay? I didn't see this, any pictures of it, and if I did, I don't remember. But one particular reliable source stated that these migrants had on Biden-Harris shirts, which is interesting because if you're not over here yet, what happened? Did some representatives from the Biden-Harris campaign fly over there with these shirts and put these shirts on these migrants that weren't even in the country at the time to ensure them that when we get in office, we're going to let you guys in? Probably. I don't know. But I would imagine. It seems to me that the people here in Chicago's eyes are starting to open. I pray that that's the same thing with blacks and people, period, all over this country. That they will see that people like Brandon Johnson and Kamala Harris and a lot of these other people are professional liars, professional manipulators, and communists. They are highly sophisticated in the way they manipulate words and terminology. I said it in the last video. People be thinking I be just saying stuff to be saying stuff, to be entertaining. And I try to be entertaining, but if you really read and study the history of real communism, not this romanticized version of it, but when you really read the history of communism and true hardcore communists, they are master liars, master manipulators. They will manipulate and twist you and offer the people in that particular country utopia to get them to get on board. And at the same time, anyone that opposes them, this is history. Anyone that opposes them, all they merely do is put a title on them. You are racist. You are this, you are that. That's all they do over and over and over and over and over and over and over again until the people are so brainwashed and so dumbed down that if someone with opposite information comes to them to tell them you've been lied to, you've been bamboozled, you've been led astray, you've been run amok, they'll look at them like, oh man, what are you talking about? Because they've been so brainwashed, they can't make sense out of real, actual, factual data staring them right in their face. That's how good these people are. They are the enemies, not Trump, not the mega crowd, although I'm pretty sure some people in the mega crowd are excessive, okay? But let's be realistic. Let's be realistic. Let's quit playing games. We know what the real violent people are. And when it all comes down, they're going to be the ones to initiate the civil war. Everybody else is going to be on the defensive. They're going to be on the offensive. But I'm not going to go into the detail of that. There's going to be perhaps another video where I'm going to go into the detail of a possible civil war and how I think it's going to play out. Well, when I say possible, let me take that back. Not possible civil war, but a actual civil war. It's coming. Possible is forget about possibilities. There will be a civil war. The question is when. But that's going to be for another video, and I'm going to go into the detail, in my opinion, of how that's going to go pan out. Okay, but yeah, it seems like to me, Chicago residents are waking up. This 80-year-old woman said what she had to say to this man. Said, "You a disgrace." I can imagine Brandon Johnson sitting up there listening to what she's saying, and in his mind say, "I don't give a damn what this old bat saying to me. I got an agenda." Okay. You guys don't know what's going on. You don't know what we're trying to do. We're living in an imperialistic country. We got to destroy capitalism, and we got to destroy all these capitalists. Okay. And you guys don't understand what we need to do. We need to tear it down. We need to bring the system down. I can imagine that's what he's thinking, because he's a communist in thought. He's a communist in worldview. He's a communist in his policies. He may not come out and say he's a communist. He'll say, "I'm a progressive Democrat." But as I told you guys in videos in the past, and I've read up on this umpteen times, progressive Democrats are a soft, non-violent form of communists. Okay, that's all they are. They are a variation of communism, different variations of communism. It's not with guns. It's with legislation. It's with permeation. It's what the Socialist Party called I forget the name of that party, the Fabian Society. The Fabian Society formed in London, England in the late 1800s, called the Fabian Society, which was a group of socialists that believed in bringing in socialism into a country through what they call permeation. You permeate the institutions a little bit at a time, and you change the minds of the people to get them to accept socialism as the only viable solution to the country, which will eventually morph into communism, and that capitalism needs to be destroyed. But you do it through permeation. You change the thinking of the people first. This mind control and twisting of our thinkings and perceptions have been going on in this country for decades. That's why it's so hard for people to understand socialism and communism and progressivism and Marxism. They're like, what are you talking about? That's why it's so hard for them to understand it and grasp hold of it, because they already got. They're already under mind control. And it's hell is trying to deprogram them. Bro, sisters, wake up. Wake up. You want to shake them. Wake up. You're the ones being manipulated, not me, not because you are. You, boo-boo. When are you going to wake up and smell the coffee? It seems apparent that people in Chicago, these black people in Chicago are starting to wake up. Hopefully that'll happen throughout this doggone country, man. I swear. God, I'm praying that you do that throughout America. Okay? Yeah. But I wanted to say that woman gave Brandon Johnson a piece of her mind. But I don't think he's going to change. He's not going to change because it's part of an agenda. The only way it's going to change is if they vote him out. That's the only way it's going to change. Is if the people in Chicago vote him out. You can talk, but talking is nothing. You got to act. And you act in your votes, not like acting like these radical Democrats talking about being all radical and committing acts of violence. That's what they're talking about when they talk about act, because they can't have a logical argument with you dealing with facts and data. They got to kill you and take you out and delete you and do all this other stupid, ignorant, satanic, demonic stuff. But what I'm suggesting is these Chicago residents act with your votes. Vote him out. That's the only way you're going to get him out, because he's not going to change. Even though this 80-year-old woman made a comparison between Jim Crow South when she was in and the present day situation, and suggesting and implying that, hey, it's worse now than it was in the Jim Crow South, because at least I could go back to my neighborhoods and my community and still be intact. He heard all that, but he ain't going to change. The only way you're going to change it is you vote this demon in human skin out. That's what you do. I know y'all like, man, he passionate about it. Yeah, I'm passionate about it, because I've been reading up on it and studying stuff for years, and I know a communist when I hear it and see him. So yeah, that's what I got to say about that. What do you guys think about this old lady said? Hurrah for her. She needed to tell him off. But what do you guys think about what she said? Old lady, forgive me for that. The senior citizen said, let's pick it up. What do you guys think what do you guys think about what she said? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. God bless you all. See you again.